Hey everybody, how's it going? And welcome back to another MAMG Let's Play of Sweet Fuse. When we left off, we entered this creepy hospital, and we got Mayoshi's heart racing just a little bit for a couple different reasons, but we also met Shirabe's adorable daughter. She's so cute. Anyways, two people are out because their heart rate got too high up, and it wasn't even because of the scary things, they just ended up getting mad. So, here we go. One more person left, and we can't get eliminated. We can't do this. We'll be sacrificing everybody's life if we do so. We began to file out of the room, with Mai holding on to Mitarashi's hand and following behind him. That's so cute. Aw, that's kinda cute. Oh. A text from Uncle Keiji. Keiji? Isn't it Kenji? Kenji Inafune, right? I pulled out my phone and began to read. Am I wrong? Is it Keiji? Whatever. Okay, interesting advice. Yeah, I guess you're right. I took a deep breath and strode up to Shirabe. Can I ask you something?
Nanda, Ojo-chan?
Everyone else had already left. We were alone. Last night, I saw you talking to someone through the Hogstein statue. He blinked in surprise, but his face quickly twisted into a sour grimace.
しかし、これは俺個人の問題だ。お前さんに何か言うつもりはない。
Okay. He started to move toward the exit. Wait.
くどいぞ。
We have to trust each other if we're going to cooperate, and we have to cooperate if we're going to get through these other attractions. If we don't trust each other, everything's going to fall apart. I want to trust you, but I can't do that if you're going to keep stuff from me like this. I planted my feet and looked him in the eye. Look at her, good for her, standing up for herself. Shirabe stared back at me for a long moment. Then he rolled his eyes and let out an exasperated sigh.
確かに、前のことでみんなに面倒をかけるのに、自分が秘密を抱え込んでいるのはフェアじゃないな。
Yeah, definitely not fair. Well, spill it.
ああ。
By now, everyone else had made their way back into the room, possibly because they'd gotten tired of waiting for us.
一体どうしたんだ?
Well... Do we have an option? Or is he gonna tell everybody together? I brought them up to speed quickly, and when I was finished, Shirabe began to speak.
俺はずっとある事件を追っている。ここに来たのも実は取材が目的じゃない。
Okay.
その事件絡みでだ。ある日、M2 と名乗る謎の人物から電話があってな。オープニングイベントに来れば真実がわかると言われたんだ。ゆうべ、ワルドブーのやつと話をしていたのは、その M2 がワルドブーなのかを確認したかったからだ。まあ結局、とぼけられちまったんだが。
He sighed and scratched at his beard.
誓って言うが、裏切り者ってのは俺のことじゃないぜ。
I hope not, Shirabe.
まあそうだよね。もし裏切り者が調べさんなら、
Yeah, why would you get your daughter in this? There's no point for that. You're right. I'm sorry I suspected you, Shirabe.
いや、俺も隠していて悪かった。
Then the pig was lying about there being a traitor. My uncle's advice had been right on the money. All my fears about Shirabe were gone.
さて、
Is that good or bad?
改めて先を急ごう。タイムリミットまで
Oh god,
あと
2
2時間し
hours.
かない。
That's not good. Right, let's go. What are those eyes back there?
案内板の情報からすれば、これが最後の部屋のはずだ。
Records, right? There were several wooden desks spaced evenly throughout the room. On top of each was a mountain of documents and old computers. Surrounding the desks were rows of bookshelves.
あそこに何かある。
Yeah, I don't think anybody could miss that. On top of one of the desks was a treasure chest about the size of an open hand. Next to it was a pair of clippers. Never mind, nobody's talking about the giant glowing red pair of eyes that's staring at us through the window.
この宝箱、机に固定されてやがる。
本当だ。 動かないね。ちょっと待て。無理に動かすな。
No, just take the whole desk with you. It'll be fine. Everyone else stepped back as Shido slowly approached the box and opened the lid.
これは。
あ？なんだこれ。変な機械が入ってんな。
What is it? Oh, cool, a bomb. Nice. Inside was a smaller box with several colorful wires sprouting out of it. The wires ran to an LCD panel that read 1456. As we watched, it changed to 1455, then 1454. Okay, we have 2 hours, but they only give us 15 minutes for the bomb? Really? I'm guessing it, like, triggered when you opened the box, though. Oh no.
次元爆弾だな。
まさかこのアトラクションを吹き飛ばすための。
いやいやいやいや、待てって。
Exactly.
2時間残ってんだろ。
He's like, no, 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 no. But the timer only has 14 minutes.
さらば血塗られたホスピタルよ。私はすべての罪と引き換えにこの煉獄から解放される。
Okay, is that how the game ends, maybe? The voice of the announcer filled the room, and then was gone.
思い出した。何を出す？確かゲームでは
Yeah, see?
研究者だった主人公が脱出するとき、ゾンビ研究のすべてを吹き飛ばすために病院を爆破するんだ。それが血まみれホスピタルのエンディングだった。
Sounds like a lovely ending.
なるほど。つまりこれが最後の仕掛け。そして俺たちがするべきはこのニッパーで配線を切って次元爆弾を止めることか。
Seems like it, yes.
配線は全部で7本か。
There's 7 wires. Of course, 7
間違いが
again.
一体何本入ってるのか。
もしかして正解の確率は7分の1だったりして。落ち着け。危険な時ほど冷静になるべきだ。まずはクリア失敗の条件を一度整理してみよう。
Oh, like you can say anything, Shido. You've already failed.
まず心拍数が高くなりすぎて恐怖ゲージのアラームが振り切れたらアウトです。すでに2人がアウトになっているのであと1人でクリア失敗です。
次に次元爆弾のタイマーが0になったらクリア失敗。あと13分しかないよ。
Alright, we got this. We got this. Don't worry. And if we cut the wrong wires, then we're really in trouble.
つまりそれって結局どういうことだ？
It's like, so what?
要は心拍数が増加しないよう落ち着いて時間ギリ
It's
ギ
a
リま
ton
で
of documents we could be looking
ど
through
の
right now.
配線をカットするかを決めるってことだな。
その通りだ。カットする配線のヒントを得るためにアナウンスの文章から怪しい部分を洗い出そう。
さらば血塗られたホスピタルよ。私はすべての罪と引き換えに
Nothing sounds cryptic to
この
me.
煉獄から解放される。
煉獄ってなんだろ
本来ならダンテの新曲に出てくる
Always with
場
the
所の名前
literature
だ
with Shidabe.
まあこの場合は病院のことを指してるんだろうな。新曲ってのは地獄編、煉獄編、天国編の3部構成からなる叙事詩だ。このアトラクションの入り口に書かれてた一切の希望を捨てよって言葉もその一節だ。
Shidabe tapped his middle finger against his forehead as he spoke.
煉獄ってのは生前に罪を犯した者が罪を償う場所。
Seven deadly sins.
罪とされるのは傲慢、嫉妬、憤怒、怠惰、貪欲、暴食、色欲。
俗に言う7つの大罪か。
Exactly.
よくわかんねえけど、アナウンスで言ってる罪ってのは何なんだ？
このゲームの主人公はここで働いていた研究者の一人なんだ。 軍の命令で人体実験を繰り返し、不死の存在ゾンビを作り出してた。記憶を失った状態で病院内を探索してた主人公は、自分の研究日誌を見つけて読み返すことで記憶を取り戻していく。
ってことは罪ってのは
ゾンビを生み出す研究。
Yeah, but which one would that fall under if he was ordered by the military to do it?
アナウンスの解読はひとまずこんなところか。あとはこの資料室の探索だな。時間がない。手分けしていこ
う。Right. We all ran off to different parts of the room and began looking desperately for anything that might give us the hint we needed. I'm not seeing anything. The books and stuff are all fake, and the computer won't even turn on. I grabbed the drawer, expecting it to be fake too, and was surprised when it opened. Ah!
どうしました？
There's a notebook in here. It says research notes. Okay, that's good. What's it say? I lifted it out carefully as everyone crowded in around me. It's got 5 of these pieces of colored paper stuck in it. What do you think they mean?
お嬢ちゃん、その付箋のページを開いてみてくれ。
I did as he suggested and found a page full of scribbled notes with one word circled in what looked like blood.
何これ、気持ち悪い。
どうやら付箋のついたページそれぞれに丸がつけられているようだ。
This is gonna help.
丸がついてる言葉は何だ？
妬まれて、憤った、怠けた、暴れて、色の。嫌な言葉ばっかじゃん。
Yeah, seriously, weird
これ
words.
書いたやつ、相当頭おかしいんじゃねえの？
人体実験の罪の重さで気が変になっていたのかもしれないね。
Wait. The others were still gathered around the notebook discussing it, but I felt as if I was on the verge of some sort of mental breakthrough. I feel like I've heard these words before. Oh, is it time? Time to think. Okay. Alrighty, so 5 words were circled were jealousy, fury, neglect, indulgence, and seduction. Okay. No. Purgatory, no. 7 deadly sins. I guess that's all we really have to go off of. But just in case, let's go with Purgatory, and I don't think the wires matter, but let's read this, because I always do that. I always look at the keywords and not actually read the sentences here. So, okay, the 5 circled words. Okay, I feel like I've seen them in something before. When we first got here, we found the treasure chest on the desk, but ended up being a time bomb. This is the last puzzle. If we can figure out which wires to cut, we'll have beaten this attraction. This announcement mentioned Purgatory, which is from the Divine Comedy, I think. Purgatory is where people who have committed the crime of the 7 deadly sins go when they die. The main character in the game worked in a hospital. His sin was creating zombies and performing human experimentation. Why do those words from this journal seem so familiar? I think it's fine, but we'll just go with these. And I hope I don't mess it up. Yeah, there we go. 7 deadly sins. I had it right the first time. The 7 deadly sins. Of course. That's it.
どうした？
Look at the words he circled. Aren't those like basically synonyms for some of the sins?
何？
嫉妬、憤怒、怠惰、暴食、色欲。そうか。確かに言われてみれば同じだな。
しかし高慢と貪欲が足りないようだが。
あのさ、同じって言えばノートについてる付箋の色も爆弾の配線と同じ色だよね。
You're right.
よし、いいぞ。もう一度整理しよう。爆弾の配線は7本。それと同じ色の付箋が5つある。赤と青の2本分が足りない。付箋の言葉は5つの罪に対応している。高慢と貪欲の2つが足りない。
Yes.
とするとだ、この赤と青の配線が高慢と貪欲に当たるってことか。
この2本切りゃタイマーが止まるのか？
いや、焦るな。ただ単にヒントに
Yeah,
対
because I
応
was gonna
してい
say,
な
do
い
you
配
cut the
線を見つ
5 or
けた
do
だ
you
けだ。
cut the 2?
おい、残りの時間は。
30 seconds. 6 minutes.
まごまごしてる暇はねえぜ。
Please don't just rip it off. Mai jumped at Mitarashi's change in tone and took a step back from him.
くそ。どこかに何か決定的な情報が隠されているはずなんだが。
The ticking clock was making everyone frantic, and I could tell we were quickly losing focus. I need to calm down. I was trying desperately to get my thoughts in order when Shido caught my eye.
稲船咲、ここまでで何か気になった点はないか？時間がない今、お前のひらめきにかけたい。
What? Oh man, what am I gonna do? Oh god, I got it. I'll do my best. I gave him a firm nod.
頼む。
Okay, he gave me a heart bomb, which is cool, but I don't know what to
念
do.
のため、俺たちも一緒に考えよう。
Yeah. Maybe there's something in that announcement we missed, or something else we skipped over. I mean, there has to be. These puzzles are tough, but they're solvable. We're going for the double! Oh, snap! Okay. Oh, don't fail me now. Okay. There's still something we're missing. Maybe it's in the announcement. Farewell, Bloodstained Hospital. All these sins are yours, so that I might escape this purgatory. We matched the 7 deadly sins to the words circled in the journal. The journal only had 5 sins though: envy, wrath, sloth, gluttony, and lust. We compared the colored paper to the colored wires, which give us 2 leftover wires. Which means the red and blue wires that don't match up correspond with pride and greed. But that doesn't still tell us which wires to cut. How are we supposed to figure it out? Ooh, I don't know. Hang on. Okay. So, we know that all these sins are talking about the 5 wires. Pride and greed. Oh, what am I missing? I think it's all these sins. I think the other ones are extra, but I want to make sure that I don't just like put all my money on that one option and find out it's wrong. Okay, so the journal had the colored paper and the colored wires. Let's just go with pride and greed, I guess. Maybe. Oh, I hope it's right. I hope it's all these sins. Is it? Oh, thank God. It's kind of nerve-wracking because you don't know if you've picked the right one already. That's it. All these sins. It has to mean that we're supposed to cut all the sins in the journal. That's the answer.
それだ。みんなもそれでいいの。
ああ、乗ったぜ。
おそらくそれで間違いないだろう。
You're welcome. You're all welcome.
乗った。
僕も賛成だよ。
Oh, Mai, thank you. She's so cute. I think she melts everybody's hearts. Urabe? What's wrong?
よし、俺たちはお前のひらめきに乗る覚悟を決めた。
Why didn't Urabe say
恨みっこはなし
anything?
だ。
He grinned and picked up the clippers. There were 4 minutes left on the clock.
いいか、恐怖ゲージを振り切らないよう、みんな落ち着けよう。
Slowly and carefully, Shido cut each wire, avoiding the red and blue ones.
次で最後だな。
ああ、行くぞ。
With a snap, the clippers cut through the last wire. No!
なんで
Oh god, there's still more.
なんでタイマーが止まらねえん
Okay,
だ
so I just thought about something too, because Mitarashi and Shido are still playing, right? So maybe, because I was like, did they let them cut the wires because their heart rate wouldn't go back up? But maybe each time you go up, you're like, you've gone over, but you can still play. So the same person could make their terror gauge go up 3 times. Maybe, otherwise it doesn't make any sense as to why they're still here. The time was still counting down.
クリア失敗になっていないということは、ここまでは間違いじゃない。
True. Does this mean one of the remaining wires needs to be cut too?
もうどっちか決めて切っちゃうしかないよ。
Oh god, not the 50-50. Please? Wakasa moaned.
このままクリア失敗するよりはマシかも。
いや、だがしかし。
よし、赤だ。俺の感じは怪しいのは赤だ。
Mitarashi, your hair is suspicious then. He lunged forward to take the clippers from Shido. Wait!
時間がねっつうのは。
If someone didn't stop him, he was gonna cut it. I leapt toward Mitarashi.
いいえ、青です。
Did you predict the fortune? At last, Urabe spoke.
浦部君まろ。その根拠は何だ？
Okay, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but in the Japanese version, Shido always calls everybody by their full name. He said Urabe Kimimaro, which, you know, Kimimaro Urabe. But, like, he always does that. Even Saki, he's like Inafune Saki. It's so weird, but there are characters that do that, I guess.
日誌の色です。見てください。
Oh. It's blue.
人体実験のことを綴ったこの日誌は、それ
Oh,
自
I
体
like
が
that.
持ち主の罪だと言えるでしょう。だから、最後の答えは青です。
There was something oddly certain about his tone.
なるほどな。だがお前さん、なんでそれに気づいた？
Shirabe? He didn't look happy.
おいおい、残り2分だぜ。どうすんだよ。
Shido turned to face Urabe as well.
放水の化学式も今思えば唐突だったな。
Oh, come on, guys. Really?
それってどういうこと？二人とも何が言いたいんだよ。
I didn't know what was going on, but I could feel a knot beginning to form at the bottom of my stomach.
それは、
what?
それは、私こそが裏切り者だからです。
What? He just... Okay. What? All around the room, eyes widened in shock. Why? But that was just something Hogstein said to shake us up. His sad expression was enough to confirm my worst fears. No, this can't be happening. I was still reeling when Shido spoke up.
わかった。理由は後で聞こう。今は時間がない。
He reached for the blue wire.
ちょっと自分で裏切り者だって言ってる人の言葉信じちゃうの？
What should we do? Oh God. I'm gonna trust him. I'm gonna trust him. I know. But I'm gonna trust him. Guys, I think we should trust Urabe.
ちょっと待ってよ。これで決まっちゃうんだよ。もっとちゃんと考えた方が良くない？
でもゆっくり考えてる暇はない。
Yeah.
一番可能性が高いと思える答えを選ぶべきだと思う。
Yeah. I felt someone looking at me and turned around. Urabe? Aww. He didn't say anything, but I thought I saw the hint of a smile in his eyes. We had less than a minute left on the timer. We had to make a decision, the red wire or the blue one.
俺は腹を決めたぜ。こいつが裏切り者だろうがなんだろうが。
Yeah, I think he was
信
open
じる
with
しか
us.
ねえんだろ。
We want him over. That's what I think. With his ultimatum given, Mitarashi turned his back to the bomb and sat down, cross-legged on the floor.
おじちゃん
おじちゃんじゃねっつうの。お兄ちゃん。
Okay, he doesn't say we're bros. I'm pretty sure you guys know about the Oji-chan thing by now, but Oji-chan is like an older kind of like uncle thing, and he said call me Oni-san, which is like big brother. So again, it has to do with age. He's like, no, I'm not that old, call me brother. He doesn't call them bros. It's not a bro to Mitarashi. He lifted Mai up onto his knee and put a protective arm around her.
まあ、そういうことだな。
He nodded and moved to stand between Mitarashi and the bomb, in what was likely a vain attempt to shield her from the blast.
切るぞ。
Nothing to worry about, we're good. He looked around at us one last time, and we all nodded. Shido held the clippers up to the wire, squeezed the grip, and cut it.
爆発は
Yes!
起こらない。
タイマーは残り
Whew.
5秒で止まっ
We
て
did it.
ってことは
We done it. Smiles began to break out when. What?
ワルドブ
No. Oh no. The timer suddenly started to count down again. And before we knew it, the numbers hit 0.
ゲームステージ3クリア失敗
What? No, don't mess with me. The announcement hit me like a punch to the stomach.
そんなあれが正解だと昨夜あなた自身が口にしたではありませんか
His voice was a mix of anger and desperation. But why would it be red? Then why did the timer stop? That doesn't make any sense.
全ての敗戦だと？じゃあ付箋が2つ足りなかったのも日誌が青かったのも全てブラフだったってのか？
まさかこんなくだらない、いやむしろやつらしい気づいて叱るべきだった。
I don't
俺
like
とした
that.
ことが
I don't like that. It was all a trick? I didn't know what else to say. That's right. We failed, so the bombs were about to go off.
おい脱出するぞ。
脱出って言っても
Since Hogson's revelation, Urebe had looked empty and beaten, but now he suddenly straightened up.
こちらです
He headed over to a nearby bookshelf and tapped one of the books. The entire shelf slid to the side, revealing a doorway.
扉が
ここから外に出られます皆さん早く
We didn't wait for him to say it twice, and ran through the door as fast as we could.
とにかく走れ。
Was this supposed to happen?
おう前振り落とされないようにしっかり捕ま
Oh,
ってろ
she's
よ
like on his shoulders. Where's Urebe? I looked back over my shoulder.
すみませんでした
I wasn't even sure I'd heard it. Urebe? His name was barely out of my mouth when I heard an explosion. Not even a second later, the shockwave hit, throwing me forward. Smoke instantly filled the hallway, and I stumbled forward, blinded. I can't keep going. But just as I was about to collapse, I felt someone grab my hand.
大丈夫？
Meoshi! Yeah, I'm Meoshi? What are you doing here?
そんなことより今は急がないと。
I focused on his hand, picked myself up, and began to run again. We hadn't gone very far before I heard another explosion from behind us. The blast slammed into me, and I felt my body begin to fall when... Meoshi! No, 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 no! He'd wrapped his arms around me and turned his back to the explosion. Are you okay?
大丈夫。少し打っただけ。
He was trying to protect me from the explosion. Another blast hit us, far more powerful than the others, and then everything went dark. It's a game over, right? Just an elaborate game over? It's not!
おい大丈夫か。
What is happening? My eyes fluttered open, and I saw Shido bending over me. The smoke had cleared, so I figured I must have been out for a little while. What happened to the hospital?
ご覧のざまだぜ
I spun around. Mitadashi was right. There was nothing left but a mass of twisted, smoking debris. Oh gosh. I tried to stand up, but the escape had taken all I had in me, and my legs just didn't have the strength. Everyone else was silent. Wait, Urabe! What about Urabe?
どこにも見当たらない。脱出途中に一人別の道を行っ
I
たの
don't
かも
think
し
he
れない
did,
が。
no.
おそらく無事だとは思うが。
No. I bit my lip.
ち あいつ妙に一人で抱え込んでる感じだったよな。
みたらしさん、大丈夫？
I don't like this.
大丈夫だ。ちょっと腹をやっちまったみたいだな。
Where's Mayoshi? The next voice I heard was one I would have been happy to never hear again. He did say we all survived.
貴様、よくも舞を巻き込んでくれたな。これは俺たち7人のゲームだったはずだ。舞を巻き込むのはルール違反だろう。
監視しているくせによく言う。
Yeah, seriously? He's so dirty. Aw, leave her out of this. As the pig's gaze turned toward her, Mai scurried around behind Mitarashi. Okay. What?
おいおい、相手は子供なんだぜ。
You should just let Mai leave the park. I don't like this host. He's not like, you know, like Monokuma and stuff. They follow their own rules. This one does not, and it annoys me so much. He wasn't gonna let Mai go. I felt my hands balling into fists. He doesn't listen to us at all, and barely follows his own rules. Just makes stuff up as he goes along. He's all excited about offing someone else? That's awful. What a jerk. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna blow up on him. Putting a little girl like Mai in that kind of danger, it's just... Yeah, seriously. I will snap at him, I don't care. You're gonna try and force a little kid to play your sick game? Adults are supposed to help and protect kids, not try and kill them. What is wrong with you? What else would you be? You're carrying a cigar. I frowned.
Huh?
What? That felt almost serious. He was gone, and the screen flickered off. We all sat down, exhausted. The game of the day had been beaten, but Urabe. We hadn't been able to stop the bomb, and Urabe had disappeared. We didn't even know if he was alive. I'm gonna say he was. I'm gonna hope he was. I'm not sure how long we sat there before Shido suggested we go get something to eat. Miyoshi, you're alright, right? I didn't feel very hungry, but Mai, apparently oblivious to the larger things at stake, was starving. She's been eating snacks for 3 days. I think it's okay for her to be hungry. We lumbered to our feet and headed in that direction. As soon as we stepped inside the restaurant, Miyoshi headed over to one of the piglets and began discussing something with it. Okay, good. At least it's alright. What are they talking about? It didn't take long for me to find out.
黒子に治療を頼んだ。みたらしさんの。
Nice!
怪我、辛そうだから。
But didn't he get hurt too? A piglet approached and gestured for Mitarashi to accompany it.
もうちょっと行ってくるわ。
Alright, buddy, take care. We nodded, and he disappeared off into the kitchen.
とにかく今は明日のためにも何か腹に入れないとな。
そうだな。
We'd all ordered and begun to eat when Mitarashi returned. Dinner was quiet, unlike the night before, but it was hardly surprising. One of our companions had gone missing. That image, the smoking wreckage of the hospital, refused to leave my mind. Nobody's talking. I looked around the table. Everyone's expression was dark and gloomy.
浦部さんってさ。
What?
いや、やっぱ。
No, tell me what's on your mind, Waka-san. Come on, spill it. Let's hear it. He shook his head and tried to go back to eating.
まあほら、きっと奴にもなんか事情があったんだろうぜ。
Yeah, it might have been against his will.
そんなの本人がいないんじゃ本当のことはわからないよ。
そりゃそうだけどよ。
しかし、奴のおかげで
It's
結果
true.
的に俺たちは助かった。一人も欠けることなくここにいる。
He may have been a traitor, but he saved us in the end. Yeah, he saved our lives. That seemed to end the conversation, and we went back to eating in silence. They're probably all wondering what to do next too. I hoped Urabe was safe.
そういや、ワルド部のやつ、妙なことを言ってたな。
他の生贄なんて求めてない。
Okay, so in the Japanese one, what he said was, I don't need any more sacrifices. So it's a little bit different than what the translation said, but I'm not sure if he meant Urabe or they had something else in plan.
それのどこが妙なんだよ。
裏を返せば、俺たちのことは生贄として求めているとも取れるからな。
なるほどな。あいつ、てっきり当てずっぽで俺たちを選んだもんだとばかり思ってたけどよ。
So they're all connected to something.
もしかしたら、俺たちは生贄として意図的にこのランドに集められた可能性があるんじゃないか。
Shido had been running security, and Wakasa had been invited as a celebrity guest. Miyoshi had come for exclusive DLC, and I was pretty sure Mitarashi had come just because he wanted to be there for the opening of a new park. And Shirabe had been brought to the park by a mysterious phone call. You certainly wouldn't think these guys have anything in common by looking at them. Was there something else going on? Something behind the games that we couldn't see? I mean, why take us in then? You know, because we volunteered. We finished our meals and split up to go look for Urabe before the hotel docked. But either he wasn't out there or didn't want to be found, and we met back at the dock, exhausted.
残念だが、これ以上探している時間はなさそうだな。
No.
そうだな。明日もゲームは続く。体を休める必要もある。
もう失敗はできねえ。二度とな。
I guess this was supposed to happen, or maybe if you cut the red wire, like, or if you said you needed more time, you would have cut both, and there's a different story arc. I don't know. I have no idea what to do.
ああ。
With heavy hearts, we ended our search and headed into the hotel. Where did you go? But I know I'm going to be playing this game a couple times to get different character endings, so I mean, we may just have to try a different method next time and see if it changes anything. We were all way too exhausted to carry on any sort of conversation, so after short goodbyes, we headed off to our rooms. I collapsed onto my bed as soon as I was close enough to do so, expecting that I'd be asleep in minutes, but that didn't happen. I wonder where Urabe is. I kept thinking about him and about the hospital getting blown up. Why was Urabe working with Hogstein? And why'd that stupid pig have to blow up part of Uncle Keiji's park after he worked so hard on it? Maybe if I just tried harder. I've got too much to think about. No way I'm getting to sleep. I sat up and sighed. I wonder if anybody else is having trouble sleeping. I don't want to be a whiner, but I felt like I had to talk to someone about this stuff. I know who we could talk to. Someone else who stays awake during the night. Why did it automatically pick him? I didn't even choose anything. I don't think. Okay. Sure. Who'd be visiting me this late? I opened the door to find... Hey, what's up, buddy?
いや、
Miyoshi? Is something wrong?
気になってへこんでるんじゃないかって。
Aw, so sweet of you. What a kind and caring guy. Oh, you were worried?
いや、そういうわけでもない。っていうか、その、君は仲間の中でも重要な戦力になってるし、
Thank you.
そんな君がへこんでいたらまずいなって。
Oh, well, thank you.
その、
Yes?
ゲームでもそうなんだけど、仲間は誰一人欠けてもうまくいかないものなんだ。
I think he's trying to be sweet.
そういう意味で言うなら、今僕たちは絶対絶命のピンチにある。
Yeah, without Urabe.
そう。それは悲しいことだけど、もしそれでさらに君が戦力にならなくなったら、みんなおしまいだろ。
Oh, okay, so, again, the English translation is a little vague, but pretty much what he said was it's sad that Urabe's gone, but if she wasn't a part of the team either, it would be even more heartbreaking. That's pretty much what he's saying. Like, it's just a little vague on this one. Is he trying to cheer me up? He had a strange way of going about it, but something about his attempt was kind of cute.
何が言いたいかというと、僕なんかより
Aww. Don't be like that. Stop it. Oh, come on. You're plenty important.
ありがとう。
Thank you too. I smiled and he quickly looked away.
とにかく、ほら、早く寝なよ。僕も寝るからさ。
Right. Thanks a bunch, Miyoshi. Make sure you get lots of sleep so you're ready for tomorrow.
ああ。それがきっと彼の望みだと思うよ。
For sure. With that, he turned and left. That's so sweet. He came to check on us, make sure we were okay. Alright, time for me to get some sleep. I was going to need my rest, so the sooner I got into bed, the better.
お姉ちゃん。
Hi there. Mai? What are you doing here?
お姉ちゃんと一緒に寝てもいい？
Of course. Of course. I mean, if it's okay with your dad. He did say they don't live together, so maybe she feels kind of uncomfortable staying with him. Okay, let's get in bed then. I tucked her in, then turned off the lights and climbed into bed myself. This is kind of like having a little sister. Maya was already snoring softly. I let my eyes drift closed. Poor Mai, she's been through so much. 3 days just eating snacks and dealing with this crazy theme park. For the rest of my life, I would never forget the taste of that ice cream.
お兄ちゃん、次何に乗る？次はコーヒーカップにしよう。ちょっと待って、あなたたち。そんなにいっぺんに乗り物に乗ったらすぐに疲れちゃうわよ。
そうだぞ。まだ時間もたっぷりあるさ。アイスクリームでも食べて休憩しよう。
Yes.
ママが買ってきてあげる。何味がいい？僕チョコレート。あかねはバニラ。
Akane? Who's Akane?
はい、どうぞ。いただきます。
I don't know whose flashbacks these are.
いただきます。
Okay, so stage 4. Oh, with Miyoshi in the background. That's so sweet. Alrighty. So let's see what happens next. I guess that was supposed to happen. With the bomb going off. I woke to the insistent buzzing on my cell phone. With an effort, I rolled my still sleepy body over to pick it up. A call from Shido? Yes, hello?
なんだ、寝起きの声だな。まだ寝ていたのか？もう10時だぞ。
Sorry. I looked over at the clock. He was right. On the other side of the bed was Mai, still quietly snoring away. We'd both overslept.
まあいい。朝食を済ませたら、みたらし流星の部屋に集合だ。 今後のことについて話し合いたい。
Okay. Oh. After what happened yesterday, we probably had a lot to talk about. Okay, I'll be there in a bit.
ああ、よろしく頼む。
Alright, you lazy bum. Time to get up. But that was easier said than done. Even after a long night of sleep, my body was sluggish. We were going into our 4th day at the park. I wasn't surprised that I felt tired. And yesterday? Well, yesterday a lot of stuff happened. We had our first real failure. Udaba disappeared and the hospital exploded. Miyoshi protected me from the explosion. Thanks to him, I hadn't gotten hurt, and fortunately, neither had he. Mitarashi hadn't been so lucky when he saved Wakasa though. He'd gotten hit pretty hard. Oh, right, we're meeting in his room. I wanted to finish my breakfast quickly, so I could get over to Mitarashi's room and see how he was doing. Almost on cue, there was a knock at the door. Yeah, I'm coming. Huh? Miyoshi. The person on the other side of the door had a breakfast, but they weren't a piglet.
ごめん。まだ寝てた。
No, somebody else woke us up, it's cool. No, it's fine. Good morning.
あ、うん。おはよ
He's so cute. What is it? Did you forget something last night?
う。いや、そうじゃなくて。
He looked down sheepishly at the tray in his hand.
その、大したことじゃないんだけど。ただ、よかったら、一
Yay!
緒にご飯。
Look at him.
お姉ちゃん
Sorry, Mai. Did we wake you up?
自分で起きた。
Aw, did you sleep well? She rubbed at her eyes and yawned. Oh, I see. Sorry, Miyoshi. What were you saying? Oh,
Yeah,
come on. Come back.
なんでもない。
Huh? He just left. It almost looked like he was running away, but why? I felt Mai tugging on my sleeve and turned back around.
お姉ちゃん、お腹すいた。
You woke up with sweets in your mouth, though. Seriously. Right. Yes, so am I. Do you think you can wait a little longer? They should be here with our food soon.
じゃあ、マイ、お顔洗ってくる。
Will you be alright on your own?
大丈夫。
Oh. I was afraid she'd be scared or something after yesterday, but she seems fine. What was Miyoshi up to?
お姉ちゃん、お水が出ない。
Oh. Huh? Oh, right. You can't reach the faucet. I'll be right there. She's adorable. After Mai and I finished our breakfast, we headed off to Mitarashi's room. Sorry. Everyone else was already there. Shirabe was the first to look up.
お嬢ちゃん、昨べは悪かったな。舞が迷惑かけなかった。
Not at all. She was adorable and it was fine. No, not at all. She's really a sweet girl. Plus, I mean, I'm an only child, so it was kind of nice to feel like I had a little sister, you know?
そうか。そう言ってもらえると助かるよ。
He let out a sigh of relief. Huh? It wasn't until then that I realized Miyoshi wasn't there. He can't be sleeping in. He came to my room.
おう、空いてるから勝手に入っていいぜ。
There he is.
もうみんないたんだ。ごめん、遅れて。
気にするな。では、全員揃ったところで、早速だが、今日のことについて。
I glanced over at Miyoshi standing quietly in the corner of the room, but something about him seemed off. His face. Is that a grain of rice?
僕の顔に何かついてる。
He looked back at me, puzzled. Yeah, there's some rice right there.
え？
He blinked and started feeling around his face until he finally found it.
ごめん、今取る。
It's fine, it's nothing offensive. You, don't really need to apologize. His face turned bright red as he wiped furiously at his mouth. Why is he acting like that? I always thought he was pretty calm and collected, but I guess everybody's got secrets. Maybe he was embarrassed about being a messy eater.
これで平気？
Oh, no, let's get a closer look. Come on, just bring your face right on in. Yeah, perfect. Did you eat your breakfast too fast?
急いでというかちょっと動揺してて。
Why? What? Why?
なんでもないよ。
He wiped his mouth one last time for good measure.
おいそこの二人聞いているのか。
Not at all. Huh? Oh, sorry. What are we talking about? Shido sighed and shook his head, but before he could start scolding us, Shirabe spoke up.
議題は今日のゲームについてだ。まあ、主にみたらしが参加するかどうかだな。
Oh, right. How's your injury?
あまあもうだいぶ痛みは引いたぜ。黒子の処置も捨てたもんじゃねえな。
That's good to hear.
でもさ、まだ動くのは辛いんでしょ。さっきからずっと座りっぱなしだし。
まあ全く動けないわけじゃねえが、昨日までと同じようにっていうのは無理だろうな。
Yeah, you probably don't want it then. They're probably gonna get more and more intense.
それならゲームは休むべきだ。こちらとしても万全でないものを連れて行くわけにはいかない。
これ
Aww.
ばっかりは仕方ねえな。
Poor Mitarashi.
俺も足を引っ張るのはごめんだし、今日はここでおとなしくしてるさ。
I was a little surprised that he agreed so easily. A guy like Mitarashi wasn't usually the type to just roll over on command. He probably knows the seriousness of his injury and isn't gonna push it. He doesn't look like he's in pain, but I guess his wound could still be pretty bad.
ではとりあえず今日のゲームはみたらし流星を抜いた5人で行くとしよう。
まあ賢明な判断だな。ここじゃ医者には頼れんし、悪化させるのは良くない。
Huh? Shirabe and Shido continued talking to one another, but I noticed that behind them, Mitarashi was speaking to Meoshi. I moved a tiny bit closer to try and hear them.
怪我悪いの？
何大したことねえよ。
See, they probably bonded over video games too.
と言いたいところだが、正直ちっときついな。ば
辛いならちゃんと休んだ方がいいよ。腹部の怪我は致命傷になりかねない。
そりゃ昨日聞いたなんとかってゲームでの話だろ。しかし最近のゲームはリアルだよな。腹をやられたまま
That
一
would
定
be
時間
kind
放
of
っておくと
terrifying.
出血多量でゲームオーバーだっけか。
縁起でもないね。
気にすんな。俺はそんなにやわじゃねえよ。あ、そうよお前。昨日はあれだけ嫌がってたくせに今日はそっちから話しかけて。
He's a
どう
caring
いう
guy.
風の吹き回しだ。
教えてほしいことがあるんだ。ランド内の。あんたがいなくなるならどんなものがあるのか自分で把握しておきたい。
Good for him.
ゲームの知識はあってもここのことに関してはあんたの方が詳しい。だから今のうちに聞いておきたいんだ。
Interesting.
お前無口な割にちゃんと考えてるんだな。見直したぜ。
教えてくれるの？くれないの？
おう、もちろん教えて
Yeah,
や
good
る
for
ぜ。
him.
待ってな。今絵で描いてある。一つずつ説明してやっから。
When did they get to be friends? They sure weren't like this yesterday. And Meoshi's trying to make up for the loss of Mitarashi on our team. Maybe he's more mature than I gave him credit for. That's right, I picked the winner.
ここで議論してても仕方ないな。とりあえずワルド部と交渉してみるか。
It seemed like the other discussion had concluded.
そうだな。そろそろ着眼する時間だ。
ああ、みたらし。ここに残るなら前のこと頼める
I
か。
figured they were both gonna be staying together.
おうよ、構わねえぜ。
It'd probably keep him a little entertained as well.
パパ、どこか行く？
Oh, we're just gonna go play some deadly games and we'll be back hopefully before, dinner.
ああ。だが夜には戻る。それまでこの兄ちゃんと待っててくれ。
前は行っちゃダメ？
Oh, she did help us.
ダメだ。お前はここにいな
It's just
さ
too
い。
dangerous to bring a little girl like that, you know?
大丈夫だ、マイ。パパのいない間は、
Yep.
この俺がちゃんと守ってやっから。だから今日はここで待ってようぜ。な。
Are you really sure you should be carrying her around with that wound?
まあ、それもそうか。じゃあ、ままごとだ。どうだ、マイ。よし、いい子だな。
すごいね。泣きそうな顔があっという間に笑った。さすがホスト。
Like, way to go for a host. Yeah, don't.
おいおい、調べのおっさんよ。そんな恨みがましい目で見るなって。
He's just being nice.
いくらなんでもガキに商売する気はねえよ。
Yeah, he's not going to try and get money from her.
というより父親の面目丸つぶれで悔しいんじゃない。
Meoshi.
調べさんの表情から察するに当たってるみたいだけどね。
若者組、寄ってたかっておっさんをいじめるのはやめろ。それとマイ、くれぐれも。
おい、くだらない話はそこまでだ。そろそろ着岸する。みたらし流星と調べ舞以外は降りる支度をしろ。なんだ、どうかしたか。
You ruined his little rant.
苦労するね、お父さんは。
Oh, wow. Wakasa grinned and patted Shirabe on the shoulder as the older man tried desperately to salvage at least a little of his daughter's image of him. Nobody seems to be torn up over yesterday, and that's good. We're gonna have to be optimistic if we want to get through this. Right then, time for me to shake off this tiredness and get to work. Come on, Meoshi. Don't be like that. I knew he'd say that. As soon as we reached the plaza, Hogstein was waiting for us. He knew about Mitarashi's injury, of course, and what happened to Urabe.
みたらし流星の一時戦線離脱を認めてもらいたい。怪我で弱っている人間がいてもゲームがつまらなくなるだけだろう。
Shido stepped forward to address the statue. I wasn't sure how Hogstein would respond, but it seemed like Shido probably had the best chance of convincing him. I took a short step back to get out of the way. Then suddenly, I felt as if the ground had dropped out from under me. The whole world swayed, and for a moment or two, my eyes refused to focus. Did I move too fast or something? I felt like I was going to collapse if I didn't do something, so I squatted down and began taking deep breaths. Okay, I think I'm starting to calm down.
平気？
I looked up to see Meoshi looking down at me. Yes, sorry, I'm fine. I'll get up.
いいよ、そのままで。
I'm not sick, just a little dizzy. I think I'm tired.
平気ならいいんだけど、くれぐれも無理はしないで。
Yeah, we'll be careful. Of course. Thanks.
どういうことだ、それは。
What? What happened? Meoshi and I looked at one another, confused. What's going on?
もしかして、みたらしさんの離脱を認めてもらえなかったとか。
いや、そっちは大丈夫だったよ。でもワルド部が。
What?
これからはクリアに失敗するごとに人質を一人ずつ始末するだと。どこまでふざけてるんだ
って宣言してきたんだよ。
He shrugged as Shido grabbed the statue.
通信はもう切れてる。抗議しようっても無駄だな。
It's not good. It'll be okay. All we have to do is beat the games. We were gonna do that anyway, so that just, what he said just won't mean anything. Letting our morale drop before we even started the game was bad. I had to try and keep our spirits up. Unfortunately, I didn't do a very good job, and everyone just went quiet.
まあ、確かに。ゲームをクリアさえすればいいんだ。
Thank you, Meoshi. Thanks for having my back.
やることは変わらないよ。
Miyoshi's agreement seemed to be the final push the others needed. Shirabe sighed and grinned.
そういや、失敗イコール爆破なんだったな。そうなれば俺たちは全員織田物だ。
Exactly.
織田物って僕そんなの嫌だよ。
俺だってごめんだよ。ま、とにかく
Exactly,
何を言わ
yes.
れようがゲームをク
Focus
リア
on
すれば
winning.
いい
Don't
って
think about
話だ。
losing. Shido looked at me and sighed.
お前のその底なしの前向きさには頭が下がるな。
Is that a compliment?
そのつもりだ。おかげで俺も冷静になった。
Good. That was true. I had to admit.
じゃあ、そろそろ行くとするか。今日のゲームにな。
Alrighty. I think this is probably going to be a good place to stop it. We'll go to the next attraction just to see what it looks like, but I'll save the puzzles for the next episode because I don't want to go too far into it. Before long, we arrived at our destination, Shooting Colony.
それで、今日のアトラクションの内容だが、そういえば、みたらしがいないんだったな。
Yeah, Miyoshi should be able to explain it to us.
大丈夫。聞いてきたから。
みたらしからか？
そう。ホテルを出る前に聞いておいた。
Yeah, some of us planned ahead.
おお、気が利くな。情報があるとなしじゃ随分と違うからな。
Shirabed nodded in agreement.
シューティングコロニーのアトラクションはムーンライトオックス。
それってどんな内容なの？
エイリアンに滅ぼされた月面コロニーで生き残った一組の男女が小型艇で宇宙を飛翔する 3D シューティングゲーム。主人公の男女が牛を擬人化したキャラクターなのが特徴なんだ。
Cow people?
牛って人気あるの？それ女の子的にはどう？
Beats me. The whole conversation had thrown me for a loop. I had no idea how people could look like cows.
まあ何にせよ、事前に情報が得られてよかった。
ああ、心構えだけはしておけるからな。人質の件もある。昨日まで以上に気を引き締めて臨もう。
No pressure there at all. Moonlight Ox. Wow. The attraction looked like a different world.
すごい。本当に宇宙に来たみたいだ。
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode here because I do feel like if I start the next puzzle, it may roll further than I need it to go, so this one will be a little bit shorter, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it either way. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys on the next MA&J. That's fine. You guys? I began to move slowly toward the table in the center. Hiding in the shadows, I could see the form of a small girl, curled up in a ball. Are you okay? You don't need to be scared. We're not going to hurt you. Yes, she has to be related. Slowly and cautiously, a little girl with a huge backpack stepped out into the light.
Mike!
Yeah. Oh, that's so cute. That must have been who he was talking to behind the statue. What?